Hello everybody, Marina here for another video. Today I'll be filming my favorite reads of 2019. Yes, you heard me well. I will start with the one I read in French. My first read will be this one. Papa, est-ce que je peux venir mourir à la maison? I loved it and gave it 5 stars last year. It tells the story of this lawyer whose daughter have been tricked and lied to by her boyfriend, and she ends up using crack and cocaine and stuff like that, those illicit substances. And the father vowed to help his daughter get out of it. The daughter herself is a lawyer as well. So what I loved is the sacrifices that the father made to help his daughter, get out of the drugs and fight drugs afterwards, to fight the system that allowed the youngsters to get involved into drug traffics and stuff like that. So yes, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Getting out of it, I felt like I lost a bit of energy because it took my energy. It took me places I probably didn't want to go to, but I needed to go and look at. So yeah, I will highly recommend this one if you can read in French. Papa, est-ce que je peux venir mourir à la maison by Tony Delsham. The second book in this list is Entre les eaux by Papa Mudimbe. This one has been translated into English, Between Tides, and I'll put the link somewhere there to the review I made of this book when I did a wrap-up. This is a very enriching novel, but it is really demanding, grammatically speaking. The story is the one of a man, a priest, who one day decided that he was no longer going to be a priest, but he was going to help his brothers who were fighting to chase the let's say the colonizer, to sum it all up, the colonizer out of the land, to help his brother through the revolution. And this guy realized while he's going through all these changes in his life that all his life has kind of been a lie, because he had become what the colonizer wanted him to become without him even realizing it, without even paying attention to it, because he was taught, as we are all still being taught, that what is yours is not worth knowing or worth holding on to. But if you want to be a complete human being, you have to be westernized. You have to learn everything according to the Western rules. And once you get that, once you swallow all the things that the Western world is teaching you, you become a man worth listening to, worth looking up to or talking to. And he realized this only when his brothers are fighting against a system that is oppressing them. And he was part of the system, ignoring it himself, or trying, maybe it shows, I don't know, you will read it and you will tell me how you felt. Maybe he chose to go blind because he wanted to be a priest, but because he wanted to be one of those people who have learned and who are well respected in the society. But at a given point in his life, he was like, okay, I am from, back in the day, it was Zaire, it wasn't yet the DRC, but I am one of the people, one of those children of the nation. Why don't I fight with my brother? Why don't I renounce all these godly things, kind of, because even the God he is serving is the white man's God, the one that he brought into the land he lives in. But I'm not going to give you much more than that. I would rather you buy the book by I don't know if you're going to see the title, the name of the writer correctly, but I'll put the link down below in the description box. I highly recommend this one. Okay, it's not the type of books that you read quickly. You have to take your time to really dig it, to really understand what he's trying to do and where he is trying to go. And because if you read it in French, you also need to check the dictionary, your dictionary de vez en cuando, because even I mean, not even I was checking my dictionary all the time because there were a lot of vocabulary to be learned reading this book. Next on the list is The Barbershop Chronicle by my man, Inwa Elams. It was my very first time reading him. Like, I discovered him last year, and I like I'm in love with his writing. This was the first one, but it's definitely not the last. This deals with many different subjects. It is a story set in a barbershop chronicle, but not just in one city. We have different cities in Africa and one in Europe, which is London, I think, if I remember well. They discuss the relationship between the mothers and their children. Also, when we go to Nigeria, for example, they discuss the legitimacy of the broken English, the pidgin, because there's one character in here who explains it very well. Like Nigerians have many different languages that are spoken all over the territory, but the one thing that they have that they created themselves that everybody can speak and understand is the pidgin. Some people may speak broken English and others will mock them, but when they all speak pidgin, they come together, and you can be Hausa, you can be Igbo, you can be Yoruba. Once you speak the broken English, the pidgin, you understand each other and you don't pay attention to where you come from, actually. But when you try to speak English and you use it, you do it the wrong way, people will mock you in a certain way. So yeah, and also the pride in the fact that the pidgin is a Nigerian creation. Kind of. It was, maybe it's a mixture of English, it's a broken English, but you mix it with what you are. It also deals with what's going on, the xenophobia in South Africa, because we also go in Ghana, we go in many different cities in Africa, and so we have many different stories. I also already talked about this play when I read it in a wrap-up video. So if you want to know a bit more about it, don't hesitate to go in my past videos. You might just find it, me talking about it more in depth. But yes, it was part of my favorite reads of 2019. Next, we have Welcome to Our Hero by Mfaswa Nempe from South Africa. I really love this novella. It's only 123 pages, and you know I love short books, right? Okay. So, but what I love above all about this one is the fact that he was dealing with the birth or the birthing or the coming of what we now call xenophobia. He was talking about the post-apartheid South Africa and kind of warning his brothers and sisters that what they were seeing then, back then when xenophobia wasn't a big thing yet, he was warning them that when you be done fighting the white man and you will realize that you cannot beat the white man because he will still be the leader in the so-called rainbow country of yours, you will start attacking your own brothers and sisters simply because you've been coward toward the white man, but you will try to prove that you're strong enough by beating the one who are weaker than you, the one who used to help you yesterday, the one who provided a shelter for you when you were dire straits. You will be accusing the Nigerians, you will be accusing the Congolese, while you won't take the time out to look deep down inside of you and examine yourself and examine your conscience and realize that no, that is not the way to go. He says all this in there, and he also tackles the spreading of HIV in the territory, something that people were once more not willing to face because yes, they were too busy accusing the elders. They were too busy pretending that those came from witchcraft. So yeah, I highly recommend this one. Welcome to Our Hero. It is very short, but it is dense and it is rich. If you get the opportunity, don't hesitate. Buy and read this one. Welcome to Our Hero by Mfaswa Nempe. Next, Heavy by Kiese Lemon. I have nothing more to say about this autobiography. You just need to buy your copy and read it. It is good. I don't care where you're from. You will certainly, at time, recognize certain way of doing things in the Black community in general. And what I appreciated the most was the Black abundance. Read the book. Read the damn book. Buy it and read it. Heavy, Kiese Lemon. I already have a video review that I will link for this play by Lynn Notage, Sweat. Race relation could, I think I've never read a play where race relation was explained in such a very simplistic way, but that it is so dense. It is real. It is real. It doesn't feel like a play. It doesn't feel like a fiction. It's when you start reading it, it's like you getting into these people's everyday life. So yeah, once more, a play, short one. I'm not going to tell you much more than just that. Buy it and read it. Okay? And then comes another play by the same playwright, Ruined by Lynn Notage once more. This one deals with rape as a war weapon, and the story is set in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. I already talked about this book in my video, the hashtag Read Solid videos I made last year. This one was very heartbreaking for me because if you don't know, I'm from both sides of the Congo, so it felt like too close to home when I was reading it, and maybe I felt like it touched me more than it may not resonate in you the way it did in me, because I felt like I was home. And she succeeded into doing it also because she used the languages of the land, like French is in there, Kiswahili, Lingala, all the languages, most of the languages spoken in the country are in this play, and the characters are so believable, and they do have like a mind and a spirit. Sometimes you encounter characters who are so empty, and you feel like, okay, what is the character doing here? Why this or why that? You don't have that feeling while reading this play, but it is really heartbreaking because of the subject matter. But the characters in the books, some of them are really will make you laugh, and I love the sense of humor of the playwright, because it was very given the subject, I found it very amazing that she succeeded into making me laugh anyways, because yes, for this one I cried. I'm not gonna lie and say my eyes were perspiring. I cried while reading this play, and it's very short, but it is so dense. Okay, I was emotionally challenged while reading this book or while reading this play, so I highly recommend it. If you didn't know about it, now you do know, so you can buy it. Ruined by Lynn Notage. I'm not gonna say much about this one. We did receive Elnathan John for a café littéraire because he won the Prix littéraire Les Afriques 2019 with this novel, Born on a Tuesday, the French version, Né un mardi. So what more can I tell you? If you haven't discovered, or if you haven't met Dantala yet, this is the time for you to go and meet Dantala and to talk, also to discover who Malam Abdul Noor is my favorite character in the book. People call me crazy, but I don't care. I loved him because I felt like Sheikh was too easy a character to love. Dantala, we tend to forget that was just, I feel like Dantala is just the other face to the same coin as Malam Abdul Noor. But then again, if you want us to discuss it, buy the book, read it, and we can talk about it. We may agree to disagree. We will agree to disagree, because yes, nobody's gonna make me change my mind. When I say Malam Abdul Noor is my favorite character, I'm not mad, I'm not crazy. I'm just a person who loves complicated characters. Those who are too easy, too nice, too clean are the ones I'm the most afraid of, and the ones I'm like suspicious when I see them acting. I'm like, what is your real motives? But when I look at Malam Abdul Noor, I don't have those kind of questions. And I also remember that we criticize him. So most of the people criticize him, but they forget that Dantala used to be just like him at a certain point. Just because we see him growing up and changing, we tend to forget what he used to do and who he used to be. Read this book. It is good. It is really, really good. And last but not least, my favorite read of 2019, I've got to be this one. Lord. When I first read Sunyati, it was with The Polygamist. I read The Polygamist in one sitting, and if you know me, you know that I'm a slow reader. So after reading that book, I was like, okay, this woman, I didn't know her. I was like, this woman could never ever be able to outright this novel because this one is good. This one is good. And then I heard that she published The Gold Digger, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try to read this one just to see if she's just as good, or maybe The Polygamist was just a, you know, a lucky star, whatever. Bought the book, read the damn book, cried while I was reading the book. Yes, I must admit it. I cried while reading the book. It was so good. I was like, oh no, this woman is not going to take another 7 years to write a third novel. She cannot do that to us. She is so brilliant. She is so gifted. She's so talented. I loved this novel. Like, I'm talking about it with a smiling face, and I look so joyous. There's nothing joyous about this book. It is good. It is great because it is realistic. It reads like a nonfiction, okay? And, you know, I don't really love nonfiction, but I loved this novel so much. And the thing is, it is painfully good. And I was like, okay, if she did it, even she went above The Polygamist. This is another level of writing. So I'm like, people, if you haven't heard about Sunyati's writing, give her a chance. Look for her writing wherever you can. Amazon, your local library, wherever you are, look for Sunyati. If not for The Gold Digger, go for The Polygamist. But I would advise you to have both of them and read them and give her her props. You know, start talking about her books here on Booktube. Start doing reviews. Me, I don't spoil books. I just want you to read it and form your own idea and know that she is worth your time. She's worth your money. She's worth your money, your time, and your energy. She is good, and the story is just eye-opening. And if you want to know much more about Zimbabwe, if you want to know a bit about South Africa, if you want to know about this immigration thingy that we are always talked about in the news, read Sunyati. At least you will have somebody who speaks from the inside, somebody who knows exactly how it goes down. Okay, read this one. My favorite read of 2019. Voila. That was it for me today. See you in my next video. Bye-bye.